Commission meeting to order, and I would ask Commissioner Langston, if you will, lead us in the pledge, please.
Thank you. Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedules and your personal life to come out and join us tonight in doing this county's business. And we hope that we will conduct ourselves in a way tonight that will make you proud of us. Guys, I want to ask you if you've had an opportunity to review the agenda. And if so, I would like to ask for a motion for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Do we have any additions and deletions? I don't think we do. Okay, we're covered on that. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes of the March 26th meeting? And if so, could I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion we approve the meeting minutes of March 26th. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. The approval of the claims. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the bills? And if so, could I get a resolution to approve the bills for April 9th?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion of the bills? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. We're at the public comments section. Brian Everling, if you would, come forward, and we've got a few minutes to devote to your comments.
Sure, appreciate it. Here's, I can only hand one to the chairperson, so only maybe one.
Okay.
I brainstormed about 6 pages of notes for potentially helping with the farm center that y'all are putting in. I really don't know the whole depth of what you all have all discussed because I wasn't privy to any preliminary meetings. But my thoughts are that if we can add to the menu for the Alabama Farm Center here in Chilton County, we can concentrate on something that we're really good at, and that's health, diet, nutrition, exercise, fresh water, and practice of epigenetics. It's a field that's entering into our lives right now with discovering how genes and the environment affects your genes and the reproduction of cells. So some statistics I can talk to you about. The average life expectancy in the past 2 years, as noted by the Center for Disease Control, has gone down for the first time in 100 years in the United States. So that's unusual. They cited that it was drug overdose, chronic liver disease, and suicide that was causing this, while at the same time they were saying that they've been making progress against cancer, heart disease, and stroke. Well, for statistics, in Alabama, our average life expectancy is 76 years old. For some reason, Hawaii has 81 years old for their average life expectancy, and do any of us know what or why or how? I don't know. There's probably some information out there about it, but I sure wish they'd share it with me because I'd like that extra 5 years. Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and West Virginia also are at 76 with us. We are the bottom 6 of the country. Chilton County, believe it or not, on my computer, I pulled it up, is lower than the state for a life expectancy. I can't understand why, since we have all the vegetables here. It must be due to exercise or alcohol or something like that. Needless to say, with 100 years of increasing life expectancy, during the last 2 years it's coming down, and medical and education seem to be the two highest priority industries in the United States right now for demanding health workers. It seems to be always on the political agenda amongst the 5 most influential political categories: medical and health, education, and economy. You can't pass a certain day without them still talking about Obamacare or no care, no plan. So the Farm Center has declared that they're going to put a concentration on animal competition and events. To me, that also probably means it includes farm commodities events, biological events such as forestry and plant life, maybe corporate meetings or fishing, hunting, and boating because we got the bass tournaments that go on, maybe something with shooting and guns, but many more. Why can't we tie health, diet, nutrition, exercise, and water, and exploration and practice of epigenetics to that which centers around the biological life and the outdoor entertainment and these kind of events? You see, it seems to me these people are very interested in health-conscious things to deal with. So if we can derive a plan to become an applications field test area, we can aggregate applied statistical research for what we haven't even yet declared that's going to come out sometime, a health number. They got health numbers for cholesterol, and they got health numbers for blood pressure, and they don't have overall, here's your health number, 1 to 100, where do you stand? And if it's too low, it'll scare somebody so hard that they'll start paying attention to health and exercise and nutrition. So y'all are projecting approximately 800,000 visitors a year. We probably have 23,000 in Chilton County. Alpha's Farmer Group, I don't know what your numbers are, but I'm certain it's a large amount, probably up in the neighborhood of 250,000 is just a swag guess. I really don't know for the Alabama Farmers Group. But this is a large enough number where aggregated together, if a portion decides to participate, we have some research numbers for application, and we can roll out to these people who want it information specific to them that affects their genes, whether it's something like diabetes or something similar to that. So there is no active corporate research group in the country or any active Fortune 500 company that concentrates on these fields specifically. They're the AMA backers in the healthcare field. They give us chemical repairs in a pill form. I believe we can beat pills with health and nutrition, diet, and exercise. I've proven it to myself. So the mission for this is to help you live longer, healthier, happier life through always maintaining a healthy diet with proper nutrition, living an active lifestyle with ample indoor and outdoor exercise for healthier living, help improve your general housing and indoor living conditions because that's part of your conditions, and help you work with your own genetic makeup to influence your own environments and lifestyle choosing in a more positive and self-fulfilling and guided self-direction. Not a self-guided direction because it's guided by us as members of the group. So I've got another 5 pages. I don't know if y'all are interested in me to keep talking about it.
We have meeting limits, with our time, but what I can tell you, and we're over now, but what I'll tell you I'll do is I'll read this, and then I'll pass this along to our economic developer, and she can share this with all the people on the IDB that are interested, that are involved in representing us in this project. Because everything you've talked about are very valid points.
That's life.
It's life. We all live it every day.
Yes, sir.
And most of us want more of it. So you are very, very true in everything that you've said. But I will scan this and email it to her after I read it, and they can do with it what they want, and we can follow up. We can encourage them. We can't make them do something with their facility, but we can certainly provide them with this, and hopefully it'll spark some interest.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for
the
being
time.
interested.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll move on to department reports. Tony, if you want to lead us off.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I would like to request a resolution to approve the preliminary plat for the Peach Meadow subdivision Phase 2, which is located off County Road 49, being developed by Denny Carroll.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I had, Mr. Chairman.
All right, if none of you need Tony for anything, be okay if you go. You gonna need him at the end of the meeting?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Mr.
go
Chairman?
ahead.
Where are we at on 51? Have they started paving? What point are we at on 50? I haven't been to it, so I'm just gonna get an update.
County Road 51, we've done the widening. We have done the sealing, which if anybody's riding up there, looks like chip seal.
Okay.
And
That's
we are,
basically just a base, right?
it is a seal on all the cracks and everything that are in the old asphalt.
Okay.
And it, yes, will provide the base for now the asphalt leveling course and the wearing surface.
How long before we do the,
They were due to start Monday, but the weather has hindered us, so providing the rain is gone, they should be out there in the morning.
putting
starting.
asphalt down?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thanks, Tony, thanks for that update.
I've been asked a lot, so.
All right. Derek, are you ready for your portion?
Should make sure I get this mic right. All right, so I have a few things to go over with you guys tonight and get some action done on. First off will be the storm shelters. A couple of things there. First off, to look at getting a bid or a quote to look at painting those shelters and doing the repairs that needed, so we can start budgeting for that for next year. So I would like for us to, set up and get specs done on those, get the paint specs and things, and then send that out so we can start budgeting for that. So that's the first.
I'm sorry, Steve, I missed the first part of that, being late to our meeting.
I'm
Did
fixing
you get,
to cover it.
did you get some? Okay. go
Give
ahead.
it. I'm gonna propose a resolution to get a manufacturer to meet, Commissioner Langston to, write a set of specifications for these storm shelters and get a quote to see where we stand for budget. Is that how you
Second
guys
that
want it?
motion.
And we have a motion and a second, and this subject is open for discussion. So if y'all wanna catch Jimmy up, he missed that
No, I
portion.
just want,
You-
I thought,
I'll give him back the meeting if you
yeah,
want.
you,
Okay.
Yeah, there's no action really, just to get us a cost for
yeah, I see
budgeting,
it. I
for
mean,
budgeting, so.
I think you had looked at some earlier before we had, this is just not new to this, okay.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
All right, second thing would be to, for us to set up or, create a MOU or some kind of a letter to the fire departments, requesting them, their assistance in helping out. Like I said, the shelters are financially our responsibility for maintaining, but we do need help throughout the community, and part of that is gonna be the fire departments helping us to make sure they're clean, make sure dehumidifiers, things like that on. So just some kind of MOU or a letter with them. There will be a FEMA agreement with the community members and the fire departments as well. They'll help cover this, but something, some kind of work out with them, as well as with our municipalities that we deal with shelters.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Attorney, would you think that we would need you involved in creating that memorandum of understanding?
I think it'd probably be more efficient if the parties work out what they think those details are and just let me review
Let you
that
look
work
over
it.
rather than me create it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Any other questions?
Can I back up one, Mr. Chairman?
Please.
What's the timeline on this, set of specs being written?
Well,
By budget?
I'd say,
I
so
would
we're gonna
think
have to
so,
budget it.
because we're gonna have, Jimmy's right, we're gonna have to appropriate money for that. And, really don't have any money to be actionable between now and budget time. So I would say that we
At
need
least
those
by August.
specs written by budget, so we can,
We'll start budget hearings.
Yeah, cause we're gonna start budget hearing right after
July,
August, so
August,
I'd say 1st of August.
and they're probably not gonna all be the same, are they?
No, I'm gonna take the one that's in the worst condition and start with it.
We'll do them one at a time then.
I'll give you, the, specs, and it'll cover all of them. Then we can get a quote on the worst one,
Okay. Okay, great,
just
yeah.
for budgetary
Because
reasons.
some of them are gonna need more repairs than others. Okay. All
I
right,
have
so-
ready by budget.
So, Derek, what I would ask you to do is to start putting together this memorandum of understanding. And once you've consulted with Mr. Bates, bring that back to us for a resolution of approval.
I said, what I'll do is once I get with the fire departments on the FEMA resolutions as well, their part, we'll put this all together in kind of one packet and just say, hey, this is what we're gonna go with.
I really don't, unless y'all disagree with me, I don't think we need a resolution to begin that, but we will probably need a resolution for approval. So let's put it together and then present it to the commission, if you will.
Sounds good. And the last thing will be to renew our current weather notification system. Let me do that part first, and there's two parts, so I'll let you go ahead and vote on that part.
Okay. Do we have a motion to renew the current weather notification system? Now, this is not the sirens. This is the call and the application that
Call,
notifies.
text, email.
So moved.
application.
Second.
Do we have a motion and a second? Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries.
For video purpose and minute purpose, that system allows people to sign up. It'll allow people to receive text messages, emails, or phone calls to a landline. So
Tell them how you sign up.
we will post on the county website. I'll get with Sylvia to post a link to sign up and work on other options to be able to get people to sign up.
We can make it available on social media so we can share it to those of us.
We keep it shared on our Facebook page, but we'll make it try to
Okay.
make it as possible for everyone to be able to sign up.
And just for public record, because we've been trying to get this out for 6 years, but the current notification systems, can you explain the status of those?
Okay, so this my second part is going to be speak about the sirens. So the weather sirens, we have around 20 weather sirens that the county owns. There's more. The city owns their own. The county owns about 20. We have 701 square miles of area to cover with 20-something sirens. It just is not efficient. Those sirens were costing us $40,000 to $50,000 a year. That was 6 years ago, and will continue to be that cost if we try to maintain them. We have stopped maintaining them, stopped using them in the past. So the reason being is those sirens don't cover enough area. The houses are built better, soundproof, and we just don't have as many people outside that rely on those. The other part is that those are set off by a person in dispatch who at times gets too busy and too overwhelmed with calls on their own to be able to get around to setting those off. So we don't want that people waiting on those. As someone pointed out earlier, in Beauregard, they had got the notification that they're in tornado warning, and then they were waiting for the tornado sirens. It never happened. So there's just a human error there that we don't want to have. So my second part of what I was going to say is that I would ask that we go ahead and start cutting the power to those sirens and make sure we start taking those down to help relieve that false thought of us still continuing to maintain
The ones
those.
that are not operational, and we have quite a few that have, as they quit, we've not repaired them over the past 6 years. And we've been replacing them with phone notifications and those type things. But are you requesting that we disassemble all or only the non-functional?
I would say let's go ahead and start taking them all down because if you're only covering 8, then you still put yourself in an area where you have sirens. But if that goes down for whatever reason, that battery goes out, we're saying that we're expecting that to work and it doesn't work. We're putting ourselves at a liability as well as putting people's lives at risk.
Okay.
So
That makes sense. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, we have, John Sharon has an issue on here. Are you gonna handle that for him?
Yes, would like to request a resolution for assistance in paying for damages that occurred at a private residence during rescue and recovery efforts of the helicopter crash. And the cost is attached at $1,612.30.
So moved.
Second.
Say we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Jimmy, for public record, you got something?
Oh, I'm
For
sorry.
public record, would you explain how those damages occurred and why we're paying for them? Because you were involved in that entire process.
When the helicopter hit the power lines over the river, it crashed at a remote point that nobody could get to by land, only on one certain point of the land that we could get to. And when we put over 100 vehicles on this, and some of them pretty heavy vehicles, rescue vehicles, from a local, the sheriff takes the lead on this for the leading agency, and we was parking on grass with a very nice lady and gentleman that owns the property on the point allowed us to come in there, and we done a lot of damage, not because we just done it, but because we just couldn't help it. We had to get the equipment down there during the recovery of the victims and also recovery of the initial helicopter itself. And this place had an irrigation system. It had a nice place, and they had asphalt too, and a driveway. And so I think it's our duty, because we are the leading agency, to take care of this for this
Repairs and
repairs
damages.
and property, even though it is on private property, but we initially caused the damage.
Okay. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion,
I'm gonna abstain because I ain't seen the damage or looked at it, so.
Okay.
I don't-
let the record
It's the
reflect
first time
that.
I've heard of it tonight.
That Joe Headley is abstains. All right, motion carries. Go down my list here, make sure I'm not skipping someone. Okay, we're finished with department reports, and we're gonna have hopefully a brief executive session with pending litigation. We will re-adjourn after our executive session, and so if you guys will, we would ask Ms. Sylvia to stay, and we'd ask that you turn your mics off and the recording off at the rule of executive session. And if you guys will, we'll call you back in as soon as we are ready to call the meeting back to order.
Make a motion to go in executive session for pending litigation and return.
Okay,
I'll
we have-
second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman.